ग्रंथ श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
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 नारायणं नमस्कृत्य
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
ततो जयमुदीरये।
ततो जयमुदीरये।
नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु
नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके
भगवद्गीतामश्लोके
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी।
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी।
We're reading from Canto 5, Chapter 4, Appearance of Rishabdev, Text 2. So I'll read the prose. Tasya va itham varshamana variyasa briha chilokena chaujasa balena shriya yashasa virya shauryabhyam cha pita rishabha itidam nama chakara. What word meaning? Tasya, of him, hava, certainly, itham, thus, varshamana, by the bodily features, variyasa, most exalted, brihad, shlokena, decorated with all the high qualities described by poets.
Decorated with all the high qualities described by the poets.
Cha, also, ojasa, by prowess, balena, by strength, shriya, by beauty, yashasa, by fame, virya, shaurabhyam, by influence and heroism, Cha, and Pita, the father, Maharaj Nabhi, Rishabha, the best, Iti, thus, Idam, this, Nam, name, Chakara, give. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. When the son of Maharaj Nabhi became visible, he evinced all good qualities described by the great poets, namely a well-built body with all symptoms of the Godhead, prowess, strength, beauty, name, fame, influence and enthusiasm. When the father, Maharaj Nabhi, saw all these qualities, he thought his son to be the best of human beings or supreme being. Therefore, he gave him the name Rishabha. Purport. To accept someone as God or an incarnation of God, one must observe the symptoms of God in his body. All symptoms were found in the body of Maharaj Nabhi's extraordinarily powerful son. His body was well structured and he displayed all the transcendental qualities. He showed great influence and he could control his mind and senses. Consequently, he was named Rishabha, which indicates that he was the supreme living being. Om Jnanatirandhasya Dhyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunlitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavascha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakamitamscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratushe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Radhika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam, pambundam bhayate girim, yat kripatam vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam, Paramananda Madhavam, Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. So here we are discussing the appearance of Rishabdev, the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in this particular shloka he has appeared and his naming ceremony is happening. So here it is said when the son of Maharaj Nabhi became visible. So it's very nice, nice words are used, became visible. He has not said that he took birth. Because God is always present everywhere. He becomes visible, he appears. He evinced all good qualities described by the great poets. Namely, a well-built body with all symptoms of the Godhead, prowess, strength, beauty, name, fame, influence, and enthusiasm. When the father Maharaj Nabhi saw all these qualities, he thought his son to be the best of human beings or supreme being. Therefore, he gave him the name Rishabha. Now, this is a very nice thing to note and analyze about the current day modern society. Anyone who is a little bit supreme as compared to us, that person becomes really worshipable, for people in general. Because there's a natural tendency to worship, there's a natural tendency to adore someone, praise someone, appreciate someone. And as soon as we find someone like that, so naturally, the person is attracted. Why so many bogus gurus, they're getting so much of fan following? So much. Because there is some tinge of these qualities, which are there. So, I'll go through the purport once. To accept someone as God or an incarnation of God, one must observe the symptoms of God in his body. All the symptoms are found in the body of Maharaj Nabhi's extraordinarily powerful son. His body was well structured. So, we see in this world also, people are spending so much of time in giving shape to this body. Yes. When we just leave it, it assumes a natural shape. And then, when you shape it, people spend so much of time in gym, in various yoga centers and this and that. When people say, we're going to Ashtanga Yoga Center, for what? Just shaping the body. No yoga there, only shaping. Yes. Weight loss, and they write also, yogasanas for weight loss, weight gain, etc., etc. So this well-structured body is something which attracts people. And when it comes to well-structured, obviously in this world, the structure remains only for some time. Especially these people who go to gym, etc. So they take so much of medicine, some protein and this and that, and then they have nice biceps and six-pack, etc., etc. But once the exercise is gone, once all that medicine is stopped, then you can see the body expands like anything. Be it the tummy or be it the entire body, the face, etc., etc. Because it's an artificial setup. It's artificial, it's not natural. And how much can we change our entire face and entire body? So we had the pop singer who wanted his nose was big, he wanted to make it small, small, small. It became so small that it was so difficult to breathe for him after some time. It's a very important thing to note that in this world, people are doing all these different things, but then, yeah, obviously, can we get attracted also. But then no one can compete with the well-structured body of the Lord. Any Mahajan has got some particular signs in the body. Like, arms are very long. Ajam lampita bhujau. So arms are very long, the chest is broad. The chest is very broad. The eyes are very beautiful, extending till the ears. And various other, the hands and the legs and the feet and the palm. So basically, every single part of the body is very beautiful. It's very beautiful. They need not put any makeup for that. So that is the thing which is spoken here. His body was well structured, naturally. That's the difference between a mortal being of this world and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He need not go to any place to structure his body. His body is already structured. Look at this. He just appeared and then all these things are not discussed. And he displayed all the transcendental qualities. Now here in the translation we have these different qualities mentioned. Prowess, strength. Now this is something which people naturally get attracted to. If someone is very strong, someone is very powerful, people are attracted to beauty. This is something which is the bread and butter of the cosmetic industry. Before it was only for females, now the males are using more cosmetics as compared to females, is what the statistics says, it seems. So just imagine that this beauty, we cannot compare that with the Lord anyway. No point in comparing. But little bit of beauty, whatever is there around, that attracts us. In various ways. Name, fame, influence. Again, this is very nice. And anyone who is famous, anyone who is very influential, it's the natural tendency of ours to get attracted from that person. Enthusiasm. Any person who is very, very enthusiastic, he is very magnetic. Here, obviously, we can give the example of Srila Prabhupada also, but that will be on the spiritual side. But since I'm getting that point, I'll just make it. So if we see Prabhupada's enthusiasm, same thing, in different ways, in different angles, Prabhupada would speak. Obviously, there is a lot of background to it, the taste aspect is there, and his love towards Krishna, all that is there. But if we just consider the enthusiasm part, waking up in the middle of the night and writing purports, and then say, after writing these purports, so someone can say, okay, he might be tired. So when he's going to morning walk, maybe he's just removing his tiredness. No, there also he's having intense philosophical discussion. And after coming back from there and he takes darshan of the Lord, again he sits on the Bhagavatam, on the Vyasasantaki Bhagavatam class again, with so much of enthusiasm, he's giving talk. After that having prasad, and then again, the guest will come, he'll talk to the guest. So look at the enthusiasm. So much of attraction was there when it comes to Prabhupada's disciple, and even new people when they come to meet Srila Prabhupada, they are attracted to Prabhupada's enthusiasm. Now, since Prabhupada is Senapati Bhakta, we can understand this enthusiasm part. But when it comes to mundane people of this world also, anyone who shows a little bit of enthusiasm, little more than ours, we feel, very nice, so energetic. What is the secret of your energy? What's the secret of your enthusiasm? Etc. So the point that I'm trying to make here is that people accept the Supreme based on their own concoction. Maybe he is better, that person is better, etc. In Mahabharata, so it is said, Tarko pratishtha shrutayo vibhinna nasa rishi matta yasya matam labhinna. What is that? Dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam mahajano yena gathasapanta. Now we can keep speculating all the time, and especially this point is very, very important for us as practicing devotees and the ones who are really aspiring to become intense in devotional service. That just by our speculation, we hear something and we speculate, read something and speculate, that's not going to help us. And our speculation for our own sense gratification will pull us down into this will pull us more down in our consciousness. So what is the solution? There have been people all around the world who have been just debating, just getting their own philosophies, etc., etc. But then, finally what? Finally it's on the material platform and the person will be pulled down in his consciousness. So when it comes to us as devotees, this point is very, very important. Dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam. So that guhya, that secret of all the secrets, that is the essence of devotional service, the mood of devotional service, the attitude that the devotee should have, and so many other spiritual aspects of life, that can be imbibed only when Mahajano yena gathasa pantha, only when we follow the Mahajans, only when we follow their instructions, they will reveal it to us. By their mercy, we'll be able to understand. So this is a very important thing. And our faith on Shastra, our faith on sadhus, and our faith on Guru, has to be really not at the top level. Really, it has to be intense and solid. It cannot be dicey. The faith on Guru, Sadhu, Shastra will decide on what level the devotee is. Unflinching faith is something that is very, very important to start our entire ladder of devotional service from Shraddha to Prema. Unflinching faith on scripture, that's how it starts. And then the faith increases more and more and more, on the Lord, on the Guru, Sadhu, etc. Then it goes up. Sometimes when new devotees who newly get initiated and they say, "Oh, I have so much of interest and I really aspire, and I am following all the instructions of the spiritual master." And then so many other intimate things, etc. they want to say. But when we hear senior devotees and when we glorify, "Oh, you're such a nice disciple and you're so guru-nisht," and he says, "Oh, I'm struggling to follow even one instruction." So this guru-nishtha, this and that, with time, all that will come. The faith increases, in these this triangle of Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. Then a person can go up and then finally we can say, okay, he's guru-nisht. He's following the instruction that is there. So the point that I'm trying to make is every now and then we should keep analyzing that what is the doubt that is stopping us to have unflinching faith on Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. That's why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, whatever doubt we have, that will eat us up. Yes, that will eat us up. That will be a cause of our destruction. And it's very much valid for us as well, as devotees, and more importantly for preachers. So when we go out to preach, it's not about just repeating, but repeating with conviction is very, very important. If we are not convinced about some aspect of Krishna consciousness and we speak, it will not have much effect. Maybe we'll get information, but then it will not be a transforming thing for that person for sure. So what is that doubt? We have to analyze and approach senior devotees, take their shelter and understand, and get proper clarity and develop this faith, by the mercy of Guru and Krishna. Now here, again, another point that is there is, if Lord is so wonderful, then why is it again and again said in the Shastra that we are envious of the Lord? Lord is wonderful. So naturally we should be servants. But naturally we are really envious. That's the problem on our side. So every now and then I keep analyzing how I am envious of the Lord. Because it's very difficult for devotees with dhoti, kurta, tilak, kanthi to say that I am envious of the Lord. But actually it is. It's a fact. In this world, when people are envious of each other, yes, when someone goes up, people want to pull them down. And then even when it comes to devotee circle, yes, we might be envious of people around us. Oh, how is he progressing? How is he recognized all the time? How is he appreciated all the time? So when we are envious of any entity in this world, it's a sign that we are envious of Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling, 10th chapter, shloka number 41. Yadyat vibhuti matsatvam shrimat urji tameva tattat evava gachatvam mama tejamsa sambhava. Now this is what Krishna is saying. So here, this basically goes on to say that whatever great things that we see around us, it is mama tejamsa, just spark of my splendor. So it is Krishna's energy around. It's Krishna's energy around and Krishna's splendor. That is. So when we are envious of anyone, be it outside, to forget it, when in the devotee circle also, we have to understand that I'm actually getting envious of the Lord. Because it's the Lord's quality. Because no living entity, we have to understand this, no living entity can have any quality as such if that is not there in the Lord. Yes. So if you have some quality, some devotee has some quality, it means he has been blessed to have that quality. And who has blessed? The Lord has blessed. Whose quality that is? It's a spark of a splendor of Lord's oceanic qualities. So when we are envious of someone, we have to understand we are envious of the Lord. Yes. And what are the other signs? And I was just thinking about myself. What are the other signs of being envious? So when we are envious of people, when we are jealous of people, it's very, very difficult to appreciate, appreciate whatever things that people do. Very difficult to appreciate. Nowadays, I'm consciously, trying to do this, trying to appreciate, different devotees for their services and various other things. But naturally, to get that appreciation, it's pretty difficult. Why should I appreciate? I should be appreciated. This is the mode of enviousness. That is there. Again and again, when senior devotees say that we should appreciate other devotees, it is very difficult for me to digest. Why is it so important? It is important because it's an antidote for the enviousness nature that we have. So just while taking bath and doing other things, I was just meditating on this point about how this appreciation, not able to appreciate the devotees, is a sign of envy. So this is a very important thing which consciously we have to develop. And it's not that devotees don't have qualities which we can appreciate. They have wonderful qualities, wonderful qualities. They have given their life for Krishna. They're doing so many services. But still, if appreciation is not coming, then we have to understand that there is a big disease that is there within us. Disease of envy. Yes. I was reading one nice purport, 7th canto, and I was going through. I found this line in Prabhupada's purport, so I just noted it in my notes. Everyone should pray. So this is 7th canto, chapter 5, shloka number 12, purport, 2 lines. Everyone should praise another service to the Lord and not be proud of his own service. This is Vaikuntha thinking. Other service is appreciated and not condemned. A very, very strong and powerful, profound line that is there. And everyone should praise another service to the Lord and not be proud of his own service. This is Vaikuntha thinking, Prabhupada is saying. When I analyze these things for myself, I think so far away from spiritual world. So far, from the spiritual world's attitude and thought process, that is there, in the residence there. Other service is appreciated and not condemned. So we find ways and means to appreciate other service. So when it comes to Prabhupada, we see, as a spiritual master, he'll chastise, and at the same time, whenever little thing, he'll find, he'll appreciate. He'll appreciate his various disciples for various different things that they will do. Be it cleaning the floor, or be it the painting, be it cooking, be it anything. Prabhupada will find opportunities to appreciate and fan the spark that is there in the devotee. When it comes to preachers, we are very good at appreciating people who are coming newly and oh so nice, you're doing this service, that service, etc., etc. But then I was just analyzing, is that the same case for me with my equals and with my juniors and seniors who have been practicing quite some time? Am I able to appreciate them the way I'm able to appreciate the newcomers? Newcomers are like, abhi RS ko pakad lo. Kaise pakadna hai? Now we have steps. Do this, do this, do this. But then, what about our devotee circle? Are we able to do that? I was just questioning myself. Yes, it's pretty difficult and pretty far away, from the Vaikuntha thinking. This is what Prabhupada is saying here. And so many descriptions are given about. Another point which I'd like to make on enviousness is how can we understand that we are envious? Naturally, we try to imitate the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Naturally. Yes. Why you want to look good? Why you want to dress up nicely? Why you want to lead something in this world? Why is it that I want to build my body nicely? So if you analyze, and why I want people to respect me? Now why people should praise me? So this is the tendency that I am also not different. I am also not different from the Lord. So you can glorify. What is the problem? And when someone glorifies, I was feeling very bad about myself. And someone glorifies, externally we might say, I'm not. But internally, You don't know me deeply. You don't know me deeply. Someday you come, I'll tell you deeply, how glorious I am, how glorious I am. So as soon as, we hear our glorification and we feel good, that is a sign of envy because we want glorification for ourselves. We want glorification for ourselves. I was hearing this one class that pure devotees, when they hear that glorification, so they feel as if it's molten iron, hot molten iron poured into their ears. That's why they close their ears. I don't want to hear. They leave that place. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he said that you are God. He said, oh, Vishnu, 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 what are you saying? Yes. And people of this world, no, you are God. Oh, is it? I was not knowing. Thank you. These Mayavadi sannyasis, they say that everyone is God. I am God, you are God, etc. So Prabhupada and his disciples were there in one such conference where Mayavadi sannyasi was speaking. And Prabhupada's disciple got up on his chair and he loudly shouted, "You are so ugly, how can you be God? God is beautiful." Yes. So anyway, the point is that when we have this mood of accepting appreciation, when we have this mood of exploiting something, seeking pleasure in something, etc., etc., that's basically a sign of envy that I also want to be the Lord. I also want to be the Lord. And that's why Prabhupada always keeps telling, lord it over the material nature. Why are we here? To lord it over the material nature. For a long time I never understood the meaning of it. I was telling myself, one day I'll understand, one day I'll understand. Now also I'm still struggling to understand. Because the tendency to lord, or tendency to become the Lord is so huge in the living entities. So huge, so huge. Every single point, if we analyze in our life, something will be there. In every point, something will be there where we are trying to become the Lord or exploit this material nature. Another thing when I was hearing one lecture, they're saying that if you're getting attracted to the opposite gender, you should have to understand that you want to enjoy. But that living entity or that particular thing is basically meant for the enjoyment of the Lord. So when you're trying to snatch away that, when you're trying to think that you will enjoy, it's nothing else but envy of the Lord. Why only He should get? I want it. I'll snatch away from Him. I want it. Deep-rooted envy. This is the deep-rooted envy that is there in every walk of life. If Lord is all beautiful, if Lord has got, we just read so many different qualities, then why is it that we don't have attraction for the Lord? So one of the reasons is envy, that is there. And because of that, we have unnatural attraction in this world. See, it's not natural to be attracted to the opposite gender on the spiritual platform. It's not natural to be attracted. We are spirit souls. It's not natural to get attracted to the matter of this world. Not natural at all. It's unnatural. And on the spiritual platform, if we analyze, it's unnatural. But naturally, we're getting attracted from time immemorial. Naturally. Naturally getting attracted to the unnatural things of this world, which are not on the spiritual platform. And since we are so much attached with these different things, so much attracted to these different things, and so deep in sense gratification, so deep that getting a thought of getting attracted to the Lord is also very difficult. Lochandas Thakur, he's singing this bhajan, Parama Karuna Pahu Dvijan, the last stanza, he says, Samsare majhiya rohili poriya sepade nahi loasha. They're saying Samsare majhiya rohili poriya. Now I have got engrossed, I fell into this pit, I fell into the sense gratification tendency. So what has happened? Sepade nahi loasha. I don't have desire, or I'm not able to attain the lotus feet of the Lord. Not able to attain the lotus feet of the Lord. So there's no attraction that is getting developed because we are so deep, in this tendency of sense gratification. Krishna also confirms this in second chapter, shloka number 44. Bhogeshwarya prasaktanam taya aparta chetasam vyavasayatmika buddhi samadhavana vidhyate. When we are attached to sense gratification, bhoga and aishwarya, what happens? Samadhavana, vyavasayatmika buddhi samadhavana vidhyate. That one-pointed focus cannot come. One-pointed focus towards the goal cannot come because it's very, very difficult to get that focus. So this is a very important thing that one has to give up the sense gratification tendency, which is a huge task. It's a project of lifetimes, I should say. So many lifetimes we're doing, so it should be a project of lifetimes. But bhakti is all powerful. Whenever I think all this and I feel very depressing, अरे बाप रे, मतलब कोई hope ही नहीं है. But then when we think about bhakti and when we think about the merciful nature of the Lord, it gives a lot of hope. Lot of hope. We see merciful nature of the Lord. He is ready to forgive and forget anything and everything that we do. Anything and everything that we do. Yes. The only thing that is expected is from Bahirmukh, we have to just look towards the Lord. And He has given us this process of devotional service. Bhakti is so powerful, so very powerful, it can purify anyone and everyone. I don't know where this, which devotee gave me this jewel of faith on this aspect that bhakti is very powerful. I fall at their feet for this real gift that I have received. This feels very nice. Not that strong faith I have, but that little faith that bhakti is all powerful. So anytime, anywhere, we feel contaminated, where we feel, it's very far from devotion, very far from the Lord. Just this aspect of bhakti, thinking about the aspect of bhakti, the procedure that is given to us, the 9 angas of bhakti which is there, and the practical aspects which Srila Prabhupada has given us in our day-to-day life, gives us a lot of hope that yes, the bhakti is all powerful and I can be purified. And Prabhupada did the best thing. He gave us the best case study for bhakti. So whenever I have to give case study, I always give this. What Prabhupada did, the miracle, by giving this process of bhakti. 2 people were not eligible, to people who were literally in a very, very degraded condition. To them He gave. Maybe it was Lord's mercy that in India it didn't work at start. Because this case study was very important to prove how powerful bhakti is. So Prabhupada goes to West, he gives this process of bhakti, the angas of devotional service, to the Western crowd who were degraded at that time. And in no time they purified by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. And they are continuing their practice of devotional service. It's a very, very powerful meditation. Whenever we think about devotional service, it's a powerful meditation that how they were delivered just by doing these different angas of devotional service. In one of the purports, Prabhupada is writing this, 7th canto, 5th chapter, 14th shloka. Very nice line. The bhakti process purifies the living entity of all unnatural attractions. I repeat. The bhakti process purifies the living entity of all unnatural attractions. When one is purified, he is attracted to Krishna and begins to serve Krishna instead of Maya. When one is purified, he is attracted to Krishna and begins to serve Krishna instead of Maya. So this is the benediction of the devotees will get, whoever takes up bhakti very seriously, with one point of focus. Because bhakti is all powerful, all powerful. Doesn't matter how fallen we are. When sometimes people say, Prabhuji, I'm so fallen and so sinful that even Krishna cannot deliver me. Come on, isme bhi envy hai. I'm greater than Krishna, that even Krishna cannot do something to me. So, no. In fact, it is described, all our offenses put together, all our sins put together, they are just like a spark at the tip of the dried grass. And Lord's mercy and compassion is like the ocean. So when you put this tip of the grass which has a little bit of spark, fire, inside the ocean will never get agitated. Ocean will remain as ocean. So it doesn't matter how sinful we are. It doesn't matter how degraded we are, how degraded our consciousness is. But if we take shelter of devotees and practice bhakti very nicely, by the mercy of devotees, by the mercy of Guru and Krishna, we get that intense faith, we'll be able to practice bhakti nicely. And when we are practicing, we can see the miracle in our day-to-day life. Or else, why will so many people come and sit in our Bhagavatam classes in all over the world, in ISKCON centers, when literally the Bhagavatam speakers take a hammer and sit on the Vyasasana. Yes, beating everyone every now and then. But still, people are, because they're experiencing some change. And the ultimate change will come when the devotee is one-pointed in his practice of devotional service. What do you want? I just want to attain eternal service of Lord Sri Krishna. I don't want anything else. One-pointed. With this desire, the devotee is practicing bhakti. And when he is taking care of the other aspects which we keep talking about, the offenses, other things, the devotee will progress in devotional service. When he experiences When he experiences, he can speak with conviction. Yes, this is how it is. And he can pull other people into Krishna consciousness. But if we are not practicing bhakti properly, if we don't have that faith, it's very difficult to convince people of this world. Because they're fully convinced that sense gratification is the way to get happiness. So if someone is fully convinced about something, if you want to shake them, then we should be fully convinced about some aspect. Now then we can shake them. Or it's not possible. How can we shake them? So to be fully convinced. That's why the point that I made at the start of the class was, we as devotees and especially as preachers, we should have full faith in this triangle of Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. If Shastra is saying this, it means it is there, and I'm supposed to follow. And if I'm not understanding, I'm supposed to verify that properly, from Guru and Sadhus. Then things will go nicely. So with this, I'd like to pause if you have any questions, comments. Any questions?
Thank you for nice class. One doubt I have, the statement which was made in the social media. So if you put all the sins together and offenses together, it is just like a small spark in the ocean for the Lord. And also we hear that Lord will take care of all the offenses, but only of Vaishnava offense he will not accept. So how to understand this?
So I think we have heard this many times, not from senior devotees, that when someone commits Vaishnava Aparadh, he goes out of the association of devotees, goes out of devotional service. So in one of the sessions I was hearing, that is also protection of the Lord, that if you remain in the association, because one offense will trigger the other and other. The person has to literally go out or literally go deep in negative consciousness, in darkness. So it's the Lord's mercy that he removes people from devotional service. Means from the association. But then it's also very nice to see that again the Lord gives that opportunity. After all, what is the offense that is there? After all, small kids are kicking on the chest of the father. Small kids are doing that. For some time, okay, chalo, dur raho. And again, Lord gives the opportunity, but obviously the punishment is there, so the devotee will take time to push himself more up in the ladder of devotional service. Yes. So that is also a sort of mercy, I would say. If that is not the case, then why will Lord give opportunity to practice bhakti again? If that is really that grave, and Lord is like, for this there is no hope. You have to suffer in the hell forever. There is no question like that. I was hearing in one class, Prabhuji had sent me that Radhika Prabhu's class. Very nice. So he is making that point. Maybe that person's advancement in spiritual life might stop and he might go out of devotion service, but Lord has the plan to get him back in some or the other way. If not, the Lord, his agents are always there to pull. Even if the person is not interested, throw prasad into his mouth. Pull that devotee. Show him the Bhagavad Gita. He's not interested, but put Bhagavad Gita on his face. Look at Krishna. Touch. I've seen that. And I went this time of Bhagavad distribution. Devotee like, touch Bhagavad Gita. And that person getting scared. No one wants to touch. इतना intensity से बोले touch Bhagavad Gita. At least touch. मैं उसको बोला इतना intensely मत बोल, नहीं करेगा touch. Very difficult. So, this is the point. Anything else?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much for making us realize how we are envious of. In the point which you referred, like if newcomers we could easily appreciate, but the devotees among us, it is difficult to appreciate. When I heard that, I got expectation. Like suppose when anyone newly come, we don't expect much from them. Or if he coming regularly also, we appreciate them because we don't have expectation that they are coming. So we could able to appreciate someone when they perform something extraordinary or something beyond our expectation. Even devotee among in base or any place, if they are doing something very above expectation, or regularly waking up early, doing all services, something beyond expectation only we could able to appreciate. So how we can deal with the expectations in the community of devotees?
When newcomers come, I was just analyzing why we appreciate. You तो एकदम बच्चा है ना, मेरे सामने कुछ नहीं है वो. थोड़ा बच्चा एक राउंड कर लिया, oh, Vishani, 1 round every day, so amazing. I'm planning 16 rounds. how are you doing this service? Oh, regular. On Sundays you're coming for Mangalarti. So nice, so nice. So that appreciation is there because someone is below us. Normally that enviousness comes for equals and for superiors, sometimes. So to how to overcome this consciously, recognize, consciously pointing out or consciously making a point. Okay, this devotee is doing this service very nicely. This devotee is doing this very nicely, and I'm sure we'll be benefited by some of the other devotee service some of the other time. So we have to appreciate, especially birthdays are the time when we can appreciate genuinely. Genuine appreciation is very, very important. The antidote for jealousy and enviousness, I was hearing, is appreciation and service. Appreciation and service. So it's very, very important if someone can do that. Consciously, someone can do that. Lord can see. See, finally, for Lord to remove envy, to remove any bad quality, how much time will it take for him? Just flick of a second. But now you see, are we really interested to come out of it? And that we have to show to the Lord, through all these different endeavors, and consciously cultivate this quality of appreciating, and consciously cultivate the quality of serving the devotees as much as possible. If we can do that, and then every small thing also, say some devotee is helping us, in the community of devotees, he has done something good to other devotee. We can always make a point, and then when the right time comes, or even at the same day, we can appreciate. And when we appreciate, obviously our heart will become light, our heart will become very nice, and we'll be able to practice bhakti nicely. I was hearing, I was telling this in one of the class, I guess, a long time back. That devotee saying, Prabhuji, but that devotee will become proud, no? So I was thinking, तूने ठेका ले रखा है उसको humble बनाने का. You're the one. Lord has sent you for only for this purpose, to make him humble. And Lord has his own arrangements. We need not be those. We need not be those. The outside people will come, they will humiliate us. Newcomers will come humiliate us. There are many, many opportunities to become humble if a devotee is sincere. So we as devotees, we need not become that instrument in the hand of the Lord voluntarily to go and humiliate someone and say, see Lord, I did a service for you. That's not needed. Genuinely, we need to appreciate. This is basically a conscious effort that needs energy and time. Conscious effort to find out, okay, isne kya kiya, usne kya kiya, and then appreciate. And that devotee appreciates genuinely, that devotee is very magnetic, very, very attractive. That devotee does not appreciate, very difficult. कोई उससे जेल होना ही बहुत मुश्किल है उनके साथ. Very difficult. Everyone. I'd like to hear Namaste.
Many wonderful points. I was also meditating upon how I guess I am towards the Lord. It's quite difficult to appreciate it. It's quite difficult to actually look the good qualities which are there in others, and especially devotees who have spent a good amount of time. So with them, it's a conscious thing that we have to do. So and also this aspect of this aspect of expectation. So like so devotees means like they have to do all these things to me. Devotees means they have to be like this. Devotees means they should do this thing. So this expectation is also one major question. Whenever I become disheartened or depressed or something like that, so it is because of having expectation, too much of expectation. So not having expectation is one nice antidote which my superiors taught me, is that like be strict with oneself and lenient with others, and have a lot of expectation for oneself and less expectation for others. So that also helps a lot.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for the wonderful class. Some points which I am meditating upon is that people have a natural tendency to adore and idolize someone. And they are very eager to make, in your words, some bogus personality as their hero. So this is a show of desperation in people to appreciate someone, and the conditioned living entity hates Krishna so much that he just wants to put his appreciation, idolization, adoration somewhere. Anything they will want to appreciate, but not Krishna. So that is the sad condition in this material world in which I am a part of. And this is a world where everybody is crying and nobody wants to appreciate Krishna. So the main reason is enviousness. You were mentioning that Srila Prabhupada was very enthusiastic in his day-to-day services, and he was so enthusiastic that he could inspire this enthusiasm in others also. So that is something which I like very much. You mentioned that when pure devotees hear their glorification, they feel like some molten iron is being put into their ears. This brought to my mind another incident where pure devotees treat glorification slightly differently also. For example, this Guru Puja is going on, and in the Prabhupada Namaste Atma Tattva Prabhu is saying that he is coming and Prabhupada is sitting on the Vyasasana accepting Guru Puja from thousands of people, and he is also at the same time worshipping his own Guru. So, in many lectures I have heard that it's important to use the respect which a devotee gets in the service of Krishna so that they can inspire others in bhakti. So, but for that, the caution is that one should learn the art, consciously learn the art of forwarding all the appreciation which they get to their seniors or to the Guru or to Srila Prabhupada. So, I just wanted to share that. You mentioned that sense gratification is another sign of envy. That made me convinced that I'm thoroughly envious of Krishna. But then when you mentioned bhakti is so powerful that it can remove deep-rooted envy also, that is very, very hopeful. Appreciation and service is the antidote of envy. I was meditating on the use case of Dhruv Maharaj. He also wanted a kingdom which is bigger than his great-grandfather. In one way, that could also be treated as a desire to lord it over the material nature. His mother instructed him, and he went and he associated with Narad Muni and started following the instructions of Narad Muni. So, even if someone does not has the facility to appreciate someone, even if someone's spiritual life is so bad that they are not able to appreciate someone, if they sincerely try to serve the instructions of their spiritual master like Guru Maharaj did, that also will help one to appreciate others. We see how nicely Guru Maharaj appreciated everybody, even his stepmother when he came. So, just want to share that strictly for becoming Guru Nisht, strictly following also helps to remove the, because the Guru instructs according to the condition of his disciple also. Hare Krishna.
Right. Thank you for the nice class. So, in this class, it's clear that how myself so envious of the Lord, because it's unnatural, but became a natural that running behind this name, fame, strength, beauty, and all. So this indicates like yes, I want to become completely to the Lord. There I'm nowhere actually, but still running behind this because I'm envious of the Lord because I want to enjoy. So, but so as you mentioned, antidote for the enviousness, like we have to serve, glorify, and do intense Krishna consciousness. So with this, we can easily come out of this enviousness. or else it's become lifetimes of project, like it's difficult to come out of it. So best is like try to be cautious what I'm doing, and try to be very careful and nicely, intensely able to practice Krishna consciousness. It is I can easily come out of it. Right.
Krishna Guru.
Thank you, bro. So here the takeaway point for me is when we are envious of someone, then we are envious of the Lord. That's very nice part because it's all energy of the Lord. So that is true. And we should praise for other service, not for our service. So this is a very important aspect so that we can see some good qualities of others. When I was hearing from some other Chinese devotee, he was saying when you praise others, then you will get that quality. So that is one of the important aspects. And one more thing, the bhakti process purifies all unnatural attraction. And once purifies, we get attraction to the Lord. So nice point. Like, thank you for this.
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की